good enough for lots of pools of blood? I don't know. We'll see. But let's see what this IMDb plot has to say. Christian, a millionaire heir, meets Sigrid, a young student on a dating app. They hit it off quickly, but there's only one problem. Christian lives with Frank, a man who dresses up and constantly acts like a dog. Hence, good boy. Is Frank gonna be a good boy? Is Christian gonna be a good boy? Is Sigrid gonna be a good girl? I don't know. We'll have to see. This is certainly a strange film with a strange idea here, but why not? With us constantly looking for something a little bit different in the horror world, this is maybe a little bit different. I will say I was sent a screener for this one, so I would obviously do fair reviews, but just to throw that out there so you all know. And this is also a new movie, so try to keep it fairly spoiler free, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. But yeah, it is definitely strange, and I think that when a lot of people watch this, they're gonna or see this title, they're going to or the description, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, I gotta see this, see what this guy's doing, dressed up like a dog," and so forth. So it definitely has a lot to get you to watch it. What you're going to think of it by the time it ends, I don't know. It is going to be split. I'm just trying to double check something here real quick. Norway, okay, it's a Norwegian film, to let you guys know. I should have checked that before. So it is subtitled, but nothing too bad and too hard to follow. And you're going to basically know what's happening here. So yeah, you're going to get an introduction first to Christian and kind of see him and a little bit of interaction with Frank. And he is in a dog costume there. He is on his feet, on his knees, crawling around. He does eat from a bowl, so you get all that strangeness there. And soon enough you see Christian kind of reach out, and you see him kind of talking to someone on the phone on via this app or so forth. And long and behold, he meets her, Sigrid, and they hit it off. Things are going well, and he kind of hints that he lives alone, but he maybe doesn't live alone per se. But she's not, really sure, what all that means. Her first encounter with Frank doesn't go over so great because, if you're there and, I could see from a woman's point of view here, but I can see from anybody's point of view. If you come to somebody's house, you don't really know them, and they introduce you to their dog, and it's really a person. That's a lot of warning signs there. For lots of different reasons. But when she first meets him, he kind of does what a dog does, or at least most friendly dogs, and, kind of gets up real close to her and starts, rubbing against her and whatever, and it makes her uncomfortable because he's, a guy under there, and you don't know if he's just doing it as a dog or he's trying to get fresh with her or what's going on there. So it makes her uncomfortable. And, you kind of portray that she might not want to see Christian anymore, and because of this. But when she goes back to her apartment and talks with her friend, she finds out that who she has met and who she is dating is a millionaire. So she has a lot more reasons to go back and give him another chance. I'm not saying she's gold digging, but certainly when you find out that somebody has a lot of money and is a lot richer than you thought, and you kind of hit it off with him, before the whole Frank thing, maybe you can put the whole Frank thing kind of to the side. So she gives it a chance, and it seems important to Christian that Frank and her get along. So she gives it a chance, and she welcomes Frank and treats him as much like a regular dog as she can, and she's a good sport about it. And this kind of goes on to the point where he wants to take her on kind of a vacation and to get away, and of course with Frank, to another house that he has. And as any horror fan knows, when you met somebody new and they decide to take you on vacation and it's just you and them and you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Bad things are going to happen. So I don't want to get too far into this and spoil too much. Like I said, this is definitely a little bit more unique and a little bit more strange by having Frank be a dog and be a guy in a dog costume. And a pretty good costume, I would like to say. And they do a lot of this thing where, you're going to show it a couple of times where he goes to eat and he's there and he's digging his head down and he's, going like this. I'm not quite sure how he ate under there or if he's just moving the food around, but he had to eat somehow. That's besides the fact. But anyway, I don't want to go too much further into what's going on here once they get up to this other home. But obviously, like I said, horror fans, it's not going to be good. Is it Frank? Is it Christian? Is it both of them? You're just going to have to watch it and find out. But there's definitely strangeness to it. And let's just say Sigrid should have gone with her first instinct and said, this is just a weird situation that I don't want to be a part of. I'm not going to give away the end of the movie, but, if at any point you're like, this is weird, too strange for me, I'm going to turn this off, I'm going to encourage you to wait until the end of this movie and watch the final scene, because as things kind of play out, as a horror fan, you're going to think, you kind of know what's going to happen here, and it might not shock everybody, like I said, sometimes I get the twist. I wasn't kind of trying to overthink it and to think where this was going to end. But it definitely had an interesting ending. One that I think you should just, if you thought it was strange before, I guess, you can just kind of continue the strangeness with how it ends. And, it might just, like I said, you might just be like, oh, double down on the strangeness at the end. It might shock you, or you just might think that this is just plain ridiculous and what is this BS that I just watched? I think this is definitely one that is going to kind of strike up different opinions as you kind of watch this. Like I said, sometimes you guys follow my reviews. When I say the word strange, that isn't always a good thing. But usually when I refer to that is when the story kind of loses me. There's nothing really here to lose in the story, other than, you kind of want to know why Frank's a dog and why he's in the costume. There's going to be a little bit of mention to that, but I think, as we get further on, you're going to find out more why, or a little bit more why. Maybe not ultimately why. The end kind of comes and it's going to unfold. And like I said, I want to be spoiler free. I don't want to get too much into this. But the end's going to come and you're gonna see one thing and you're going to be like, okay. And then, like I said, just, wait that extra minute or two, and then they're going to okay you again, and you're going to be like, okay. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, yeah, I kind of, just had to ask, request the screener when I saw, this whole dressed up person in a costume to see where they went with it. And they certainly went with it. So yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it is, let's see, they have horror thriller here. And I'm going to say, yeah, it might lean, the whole overall of what's happening here is definitely horror. It may lean a little bit more thriller. Like I said, it is subtitled, so you're going to have to read a little bit. But like I said, it doesn't get too far out there. You're not going to miss a whole lot. There's some parts of it where, they're just kind of getting to know each other and dating early on. And then, it's going to pick up a little bit towards the end when they've moved to this other location, and it will pick up a little bit. And then definitely the bizarre ending there. So I'm going to encourage you guys, if you get a chance to watch this. You may hate me for saying to watch it, or you may be like, okay, that was a little bit interesting. I think, this kind of tilts to maybe a little bit something different, or at least something that you don't see too often. I would definitely like to see maybe another one of these two movies, maybe with a cat or different animal, and kind of do something strange and weird with that. I mean, we've seen cocaine bear and shark and all these other things, so why not dress up in a costume? As a matter of fact, with all the bad CGI shark things, we should just see someone dress up in a shark costume and do something really stupid. It might be better than the CGI stuff that we've seen. I don't know. Anyway, let's not get too far off trail here. I'm kind of debating as I say this whether to give it 2.5 or 3 pools of blood. I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 pools of blood just for that ending, just to give it a little bit, because like I said, when it kind of came to that one part where I thought I was going to end there, I was like, okay, I could see that. But then they went that extra little bit. So I'm saying, okay, I'll give them 3 pools of blood for that. So definitely an interesting film. And so if you guys, any of you actually see this when it comes out, it should be out shortly. Please, in the comment section or on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, if you see this, let me know your thoughts. And if you're mad at me for suggesting that you watch this, it happens. I try not to steer you wrong, but this is gonna be one of them that is, it's just, you're either gonna really like it or just be like, what the hell. But yeah, I'm gonna encourage you guys to at least watch it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3 pools of blood, because they did that little extra there at the end. So yeah, horrorscorereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written or video. Definitely doing more video reviews lately, so subscribe, like, do all those things that everyone wants you to do. If not, no worries. Definitely also check out shorts, doing a lot of shorts as well. And having some fun with that. Twitter, Facebook, information down below as well. Reach out to me there. Still on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Facebook. And definitely in the comment section, if you guys eventually get the chance to see this movie, please feel free to tell me what you think, if I've wasted your time by telling you to watch this movie or not, and we'll take it from there. So with that, I will catch you in the next review, horror fans.